Hello. Wanted to make another quick tier list video. This one is focused on the bot lane, looking at AD AP carries. All right, let's jump into it. So first off, just wanted to kind of give you a little baseline on how we're looking at this. We got all the data from op.gg. This is looking at patch 14.24. And in this case, my past videos looked at stats just from NA. Since this patch is relatively new, there wasn't really enough data, I'd say, from just NA. So we looked at global win rates. So just to give you some of the background, it's 2.3 million games from bronze, 2.8 million from silver, 2.4 million from gold. And all I did was sort all the bot lane champs, looked at their win rates in those respective divisions, so bronze, silver, and gold. So just focusing on low elo. So jumping right in, let's look at bronze. The way I did S, A, B, C, D, E, and people you should probably avoid is just based on win rates again. So over 52% in the S tier, 52 to 51.5, A, B consisting of 51.5 to 51, C being 51 to 50, and then things below that respectively. So what really jumps out immediately is that there's some mages that are really outperforming a lot of the traditional AD carries in that bot lane. So these are your Brands, your Ziggs, your Veigar, and Swain. Really the only two like true AD carries down there that are really doing well above 52% win rates are Nyla and Miss Fortune. Yasuo seems to be up there. Not really sure why, but I might think it's really around the win wall and how effective it can be against, traditional AD carries. And yeah, just I guess he's performing well. Jhin, Smolder, Kog'Maw seem to be good picks, and then your kind of over 50% wins are rounded out by Jinx, Caitlyn, Sivir, and Vayne. Some things to note are that Kalista has an extremely low win rate, around 46% or so. Lucian as well, Zeri, Draven, and Tristana. Unsurprisingly, pretty heavy skill-oriented champions like Ezreal and Corki are also down here. I imagine they would start climbing as we climb in ranks, but we'll see. I think that's about it for bronze. Let's move on to silver. So honestly, pretty similar. Some things to note are Sivir has moved up into the S tier here. Vayne has moved up as well. Yasuo slightly lower from A to B. Kog'Maw slightly lower, but still above 50%. So nothing to note really. The lower half seems very similar with a few of them climbing slightly in win rate, but nothing too significant. Still below 50%. Yeah, so that's silver. We can take a look at gold now. And here, some big things to note are that Yasuo has moved up above 52%. And then the big thing is that Kog'Maw, who was much lower earlier on, is now, up into the 52% range. And I don't know, maybe we can just attribute it to that champion requiring some reps and requiring quite a bit of skill and practice. And, the gold players likely have more of that. Let's see if there's anything else to note. Lucian and Ashe have moved up into the above 50% range, as has Draven. Callista seems to be doing a little better, potentially because of just higher skill levels and things like that. Aphelios is still low, Ezreal's still low. Yeah, but in general, I'd say the lower half is, pretty similar across all three of these overall. So, yeah. Now, let's switch on to kind of conclusions we can draw. Really, these are kind of the averages of win rates across all three of those ranks. So you can really see that Brand is the true top performer here. Does a ton of damage, unaffected by tanks, really. Does well late game as well. Has a stun, so has a lot of tools to kind of be an effective champ. And then Swain and Nyla, and Veigar are the two others that kind of stand out. Ziggs seems to be a pretty safe pick, probably because you can keep your distance and just keep easy to farm and just easy to have impactful ults and things like that. Same with Misfortune, obviously, a really good ult. And yeah, so I don't know. I think if you're looking to climb, give some of these champions a try. I personally have never played Nyla, but any game I've been a support and been in it, she seems very effective in kind of all-in situations where she just goes in and pretty much obliterates a good amount of the other team. So definitely something to give a try. Also, I don't think a lot of people are really familiar with her. She's not picked very often, so I don't think a lot of other players know how to handle her necessarily. Yeah, so let's look at marksman to avoid. So I'd say number one, unless you have a support that's willing to play with you, I would stay away from Callista. Aphelios is pretty hard marksman, I'd say. So again, stay away from there. Ezreal and Tristana have similar issues in that I think in these lower elos, people tend to misposition with the jump and the arcane shift, which are really important spells to, I don't know, sometimes hold on to defensively. And I'd say the same goes for Zeri and Corki as well, who can kind of go in quite quickly and then not necessarily have a good escape out. So potentially mispositioning and things like that might be the reason for their lower win rates. I mean, you can probably play a really good game and then have a fight where you've mispositioned and the other team can just capitalize on that. So overall, unless you're willing to put in quite a bit of time and effort, and you're not necessarily looking to climb immediately, yeah, go ahead and play these champions. But if you are just looking to get out of these lower elos, give some of those other champions a try. All right, that's it for this. We'll plan to do both a support and a mid lane tier list here soon. Thanks.